this week a friend and a guy who is an intern at our church. And his story is incredible. His name is Anthony. Anthony's story is one of God's grace. It's one worth celebrating when you begin to see how a life is really transformed when the power of the gospel comes to bear. Anthony has a lot to share and give and offer in terms of what God has done in his life and how we can learn from that. And I want to let him share a little bit about his story as we think tonight about knowing God and making God known. So if you would, please join me in welcoming up here Anthony, if you would.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? I know it's the last night of camp, so I'm sure y'all are excited. But like Pastor Erik said, my name is Anthony. I'm his intern at his church, so it's always a privilege when he allows me to travel and just to be a part of this, to sit back and watch and join in. I've had the opportunity to play basketball with a few of you all, and 9 square, I think that's the game, with a few of you all. And so I'm just really excited to be here. I just hope just a little piece of my story makes sense and it influences you to grow closer to the Lord. But before I go any further, before I actually share my story, we're going to play a quick game. Since y'all don't really know me, I just made it up. It's going to be the guessing game. I'm going to give y'all one true thing about me, and then I'm going to include 2 untrue things about me. And someone in the audience, raise your hand if you think you're a good guesser, and see if you're right. So the first one is, I'm from Tennessee, but which city was I born in? Was I either born in Memphis, Knoxville, or Nashville? Raise your hand and see if you think. You right here. Not Knoxville. I was born in Nashville, but good guess. All right, so we're going to move on to another. We're going to make it a little bit more interesting. What is my favorite type of chicken to eat? So we got fried chicken, baked chicken, or chicken wings. You right here in the orange shirt. I like fried chicken the best. All right, so it's the last one. So we're going to make it a little more interesting. I'm going to give you 3 superpowers. And which one of y'all think I would rather have the most? The ability to fly, the ability to teleport, or the ability to have super speed somewhere. You right here in orange, or red, or pink, or something. Teleport. There you go. You finally got it right. But watch this. See, it's okay to not know who I am and to play this guessing game with me. But what is not okay is to not know who God is and to play this guessing game with God. And even though we've been here all week, and I know a lot of y'all has came to faith, but I'm afraid that there's still a few of y'all in here who are playing this guessing game, who don't have a clue who he is, and are just guessing. And the reason why I know that is because that was me once upon a time. Didn't have an idea, and all I did was guess. So I'm going to give you just a quick snapshot of what my lifestyle consisted of me not knowing him. I played football all my life. I played sports all my life, but I had the opportunity to play football at a small college 30 minutes from Nashville. And so since I didn't know God, I couldn't place my identity in him. I placed my identity in being an athlete. On the field, it was all about being the best football player I can be. But then off the field, it was just about living the high life, just getting high, getting drunk, and sleeping with every woman that I was involved with at the time. And because that's what athletes do, right? I mean, that's what we're known for. But you see how that works is you can only place your identity in what you know. And since, like I said, since I didn't know God, I couldn't place my identity in him. But this is the most dangerous thing about playing this guessing game with God. It allows you to live in a lifestyle of sin, but it causes you to feel like that. It causes you to claim salvation. It causes you to claim Christianity. It causes you to believe that you're still going to heaven. And that's exactly what I believed in. My thoughts were like, I know I smoke, I know I get drunk, but I guess God will forgive me. Or I know I sleep around, and I know I run and brag about it to my friends, but hey, I guess God will understand. I mean, he's the one who created sex, right? Or what about this one? I know I don't read my Bible, I don't pray unless it's before football games, or unless I really, really need something. Then I get on my hands and knees. And the more that I think about it, everything that I do, God hates. But hey, only God can judge me, so I guess I'll be fine. Those are thoughts, those are statements for people who don't have a clue. And those were the statements that I held. But all that changed. God used a special someone to influence me to read. And by God's grace, I listened. And I remember me reading. I don't even remember what it was that I was reading, but I was reading the Bible. And I just paused. And I just broke out in tears. And all I kept repeating was God understand, God understand, God understand, God understand. I repeated that for 10 or 15 minutes. And for the first time of my life, there was no more guessing. He finally he revealed himself to me. He revealed his nature. And man, has my life changed since then. There's no such thing as going back from that lifestyle. Why in the world would I spend my time getting high when I can read his word, and when he can show me who he is, and he can give me I actually have purpose now. I'm not just a football player who just runs around and scores touchdowns. I'm actually a child of God now. And that in itself completely destroys every other lifestyle that there is to live. I've been on both sides of the lifestyle. I've lived the ridiculous life that has no meaning and is just all of just fulfilling your desires. And then I live the life now of God fulfilling my desires. And some of y'all have experienced that. Some of y'all have experienced that this week at camp. I've talked to a few of y'all. Y'all have experienced this moment last year at camp, and some of y'all have experienced this moment at y'all's church back home. So what do we do with that? You know those kids who run around and say, man, my dad, he's a firefighter, and he bust through 10 burning houses and saved a whole bunch of people, and my dad, he's this, my dad, he's that. That's what we should imitate. We should have that pride to brag about our Heavenly Father. We can brag about our earthly Father. How much more can we not brag about our Heavenly Father? How much more can we not make him known? But then, like I said, there's still a few of us in here who are like me a few years ago who are still playing this guessing game. And I'll just end on this. We've got two options. We've been here all week at camp, and God has just poured truth and truth and truth into y'all's hearts. So y'all can either accept it or reject it. But I plead that y'all accept it, because my life has been completely different in a great way. There's no way that I would see myself up here doing what I'm doing right now. And it's only because God lives in me, and I know my Heavenly Father. Thank you.
If you have your Bible, go to Colossians chapter 2. We'll get our way there in just a moment. Anthony's story is an incredible story, and he's very humble. Anthony was an incredible football player, and just the life of the party. Anthony is the one that attracts people to himself, and Anthony went from a life lived for his purposes, his desires, his glory, his fleshly desires, and God saved him. And listen, he didn't just go, oh, cool, now I can go to heaven. His urges, his desires, his passions have changed. This is a guy who not only reads his Bible daily, he's reading books by Charles Spurgeon, a preacher in London in the 1800s. Tell me God hasn't changed your heart to do that, right? This is a guy who asks questions constantly about his faith and about the Bible and about, help me understand this. And not only does he do that, he seeks to make God known. He took these people that were in his life once partying, and now he's leading Bible studies with football players. He's coming to camps like this and telling his story to others. You couldn't have told Anthony 2 years ago that he would be in front of you tonight doing this. He'd have thought you were crazy. Only the grace of God. God changes lives like changing the legal. Kill sin and we fight sin, but we're also invited into sin. We are invited to a relationship with the relationship in the one who met Elijah, relationship with the one that David wrote to, a relationship with this robe. You God would open your hearts to see this. Out of high school, I was a paratrooper, and we would jump at night. We would jump night jumps because you're not going to go into combat during the day, jumping out of an airplane, just falling from the sky, waving at everybody, right? You're going to go in and jumping at night because that's what it would be in movies where, you're just kind of jumping and free falling from the sky. You've got all kinds. We're twisted up so that I couldn't even to look above your head. I couldn't